Hey Southern Mercantile, it's Roxie here. I'm coming to you from my kitchen today. I just wanted to take a minute to share a few of my favorite drink recipes with you today. The weather has been so pretty here. That doesn't last long for us, so while the weather's been pretty here in South Georgia, we've been trying to sit outside, enjoy the porch, enjoy our patio, and I have found a few very simple drink recipes that we've really been enjoying. If you live in a small town like me, sometimes fancy cocktails can be intimidating. We don't have access to a lot of the ingredients that are listed in the cocktail books, but I just wanted to take a minute to share some favorites with you that are simple, easy. They don't require any weird ingredients. I got everything that we're using at my local package store and my local grocery store. So there's no reason why you can't sit on your porch and enjoy a fancy cocktail in a pretty glass and just have a beautiful evening. So let's get started with that, and can't wait to share these recipes with you. Before we get started with our drink recipes, I just wanted to share with you a few handy tools that are good to keep and a few ingredients that I try to always keep. So that way, if you are wanting to whip up a cocktail at the last minute or you have a neighbor pop over, you'll always be prepared to have something refreshing and special. You will need to keep a shaker. A lot of cocktails, you're going to have to shake them up in a handy shaker with ice. If you don't have one, a mason jar works just as well, as long as you have a lid that'll screw on tight. It's also helpful to have a juicer. When I'm in a hurry, I just squeeze my fruit into my glass, but if you need a lot of fruit juice, or if you want to do like I do and go ahead and squeeze your fresh juices at the beginning of the week so you just have them in the refrigerator, a juicer is handy to have. This one is my favorite. This is a vintage juicer my mom found for me, but it has a little tray inside that catches the seeds, and it is quick, easy cleanup. This is another good option, and we sell one very similar to this on our website that also comes with a handy measuring cup. So juicer, shaker, and then you're going to need some sort of measuring tool that will measure ounces. A lot of folks don't measure their liquor for their drinks. I measure my liquor for my drinks. I've learned that I have a heavy pour, and my alcohol lasts longer if I'll actually measure it. So some ingredients to just keep on hand. Every week when I go to the grocery store, I always buy an orange, and I always keep lemons and limes. So a lot of drinks are going to require citrus fruit, so those are good just to keep on hand. And then I've also started keeping sugar cubes. Not a necessity, but so much more fun than a spoonful of sugar. So those are just fun and handy to keep around. My favorite just standard liquors that I keep are bourbon. Matt loves rum, and then in the summertime I just always want something a little more refreshing, so I keep gin, and then I try to keep a little simple syrup made in the refrigerator. If you whip that up, simple syrup is just a sugar water. It will last in the refrigerator for quite a long time. So if you have these few ingredients, you will be set to make a wide array of cocktails. So let's get started. One of my most favorite drinks to make in the summer is a French 75. It sounds very fancy, but it is so simple and easy to make. It is so refreshing, and it has my two favorite ingredients, gin and champagne. I just love champagne. I love expensive champagne. I love cheap champagne. I love a bubbly drink. So we're going to get started with a French 75. You're going to need your shaker, and you're going to need a measuring tool that will measure ounces. For this recipe, you will need 2 ounces of gin, 4 ounces of fresh squeezed lemon juice, 1.5 ounces of simple syrup, and if you have an extra lemon slice after you've squeezed your lemons, one's just really pretty for a garnish. So let's get started. You don't have to have expensive liquors. I think I've mentioned that before. What we can get here in Ocilla is a little limited, and especially if you're making a mixed drink, don't feel like you have to spend a lot on alcohol. This is cheap champagne that I picked up at Piggly Wiggly, and it's going to be just as delicious as something fancy. So to get started, you're going to fill your shaker with ice, which I have already done. And you're going to put the lemon juice and the simple syrup in there. You're going to add the champagne later. So let's add our 4 ounces of lemon juice. 2 ounces of gin. This is going to make enough to serve 2. And 1.5 ounces of our homemade simple syrup. Some grocery stores sell bottled simple syrup that you can just pick up if you're in a hurry, but it really doesn't take long to make. And in almost every drink recipe book has a quick recipe for simple syrup. The drink that we're making, the French 75, you can find in one of our favorite books, the Southern Cocktails book, which is available on our website. So we have all of our ingredients in our shaker. We've got the lid on tight. All right, we've given our drink a good shake. We're going to pop the top off. Pour it into our 2 pretty champagne glasses. These aren't technically champagne glasses, but I love these glasses. I can't be in the kitchen without making a bit of a mess. We're going to top this off with champagne. Garnish with, I saved us a few little thin lemon slices to float on the top. And you, my friends, are ready for an impromptu porch party. All right, the next drink that I want to show you also involves champagne, and it is called a Champagne Julep. It's a take on a mint julep, and I found the recipe in this cute drink book called A Spot at the Bar, which you can find on our website. This drink is supposed to be served in a julep cup. I don't have one. How I don't have a julep cup, I don't know. You can see behind me, I have about every other kind of glass there is. I have enough glasses for the whole neighborhood to come over and have their own glass, but I don't have a julep cup. If you're not familiar with that, they look like the cups on the front of this Southern Cocktails book. But for today, we're going to just serve it in a pretty champagne glass, which I prefer drinking out of. Anyway, so for this drink, the Champagne Julep, you are going to need simple syrup, a sugar cube, a handful of mint leaves, and of course, champagne and ice. Now, we're going to have to muddle our sugar cube and our mint leaves together. Normally you would do that in the glass, but since I'm doing this in a delicate glass, I'm going to muddle my mixture in a little mixing bowl. So we're going to need 1 of our cute little sugar cubes, a little handful of mint leaves, and then we are going to also add in the simple syrup. And you just want to press that around. We're trying to get our sugar cube to start to dissolve just a little bit. And by muddling and pressing on those mint leaves, you're just helping release that mint flavor. That's going to help make your drink taste good. Another reason to serve this in a julep cup is because muddled mint leaves are not pretty. But for today, we're going to make it work. Okay, we've pressed on our mint leaves. I can smell them. They're smelling fresh and delicious. Don't worry if your sugar cube, it's not going to completely dissolve. It's going to dissolve more when you top it with the champagne. So let's go ahead and put our little mixture here into our pretty champagne glass. Going to top it with our bubbly. I'm just going to give it a quick little stir. Your sugar cube's hanging out in the bottom there, and it's going to keep effervescing and giving you that hint of sweetness. We will garnish with just a smidge more of the fresh unmuddled mint. And there you go. Now, who doesn't want to sit outside and drink this refreshing drink? It looks and smells so good I can hardly stand it. I'm going to have to take a sip. Cheers, guys.